one of the dealers, Shane, is just, he is a treasure to have upstairs, and has a plethora of records. Anyway, I came across some records and I'm playing Hank Williams. I haven't used a record player since the 80s, so I had to know the basics of it. Um, and I'm going to buy a record player eventually off of Shane because he knows this stuff. But this is Hey Good Looking. I have Playing by Hank Williams, and that was actually June Carter's first husband, if anyone knows, if you ever seen Walk the Line. Johnny Cash's wife, June Carter, was married to Hank Williams. So I just wonder if he's talking about the Hey Good Looking song, if he wrote it for her or not. But she was an amazing woman. She helped Johnny Cash with his drug addiction, and it's an excellent movie. I'd highly recommend. Joaquin Phoenix, I believe, got a Oscar. No, I know. Joaquin Phoenix won his Oscar for portraying the role of Johnny Cash in that movie, and you can look it up. I highly recommend it. But this is the Hank Williams one I'm playing right now, and I do like the song. So I'm going to turn the camera around so you guys can look at the record player. So I'm at the Clovis Antique Mall. We're open 7 days a week, and this is the spot to buy your records because Shane really knows his stuff, and also a record player if you want to get into the subculture of records. And there's also new records that you can buy, and he offers some of them, but mostly stuff from the 50s and earlier, like the 60s. And he doesn't really do advertising, it's mostly word of mouth. Speaking of Joaquin Phoenix, there's the Joker. Highly recommend that movie. I'd see it, the new one with Lady Gaga. So I guess with the records, you actually lift this up, and then to go to the next song, you go to the next groove. You place it down on the next groove to get to the next song. I have this one with Sammy Davis Jr. I want to play I Left My Heart in San Francisco. Let's try that. So there's a stop button on here. I think I have to lift this up. Lift that up and then push stop. And then we're going to get, and I broke 2 nails today. I do a lot with my hands in this business, so although I dress quote unquote, turn the camera around, quote unquote nostalgic and feminine, mostly for the, just to get in touch with my side. And I do vintage fashion. What I have on is a 60s Hawaiian. I love the bell sleeve here, and I was like, I'm ready for time travel, and I definitely am going to go to the 60s once we have a time machine. But back on topic, let's go ahead, and I want to try to play by Sammy Davis Jr. This I Left My Heart in San Francisco, because I think I've heard it on 1 or 2 soundtracks, and I really like soundtracks. So let's see how it sounds, so I can figure this out. This one says Chew. I Left My Heart in San Francisco. I think it's at the very beginning. No, that's Kansas City. Oy! Oops. Oopsie daisies. Nope. Kansas City. Well, Kansas City, I guess we want Kansas City because that's all that this wants to play. I have been to Kansas City, Missouri. I didn't get to go to the Arch. I did go to the zoo, amazing zoo there. I won't be standing in the corner. Maybe if it's in Kansas City. Oh, I see the song It's All Right With Me. We're going to play that one. Let's stop this one. So lift up the needle, stop. We're going to try Kansas. I see this song here, and I'm pretty sure I like it. It's All Right With Me. So hopefully it might be all right with you. And let's see if I can find the actual, and that looks pretty dirty. Hey there, it's all right with me. Looks like going right here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. So try to count 4 on here. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Oh, whoa. Ugh. Oops. Definitely. I know this is probably killing Shane if he was here right now. I'm acting like I'm DJing with all the scratching I'm doing. No, this is not. So that's the thing with records. You have to get them on the grooves. Guess what's that? Maybe that saying that says in the groove? What they meant by it? Look at that crackling noise. You don't really get that with any other sound. That vague crackling noise. Hi. I'm going to put these back in the sleeve. I came across Judy Garland and Liza Minnelli. So Liza Minnelli was her daughter. I'd highly recommend the movie Judy. If you haven't seen it, it's great. It gives you a kind of idea of what some of the actors and performers went through, and they still do go through at this day and age. Some do and some don't. Depends on their manager. And I can understand why some have their family members as managers to protect them. I couldn't get through the new Elvis movie. If any of you guys seen that one, it was so sad and depressing. I was like, I can't watch this whole movie. It was just too much what Elvis went through. But we have great music to reference. So this was the Hank Williams and then the Sammy Davis Jr. But there's so much music out there. And if you're coming to this booth here, I think that you can play any of the records before you buy them. I don't know who's out there. I see one person. I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. 2 people. The Antique Mall where I'm at, they have a record store upstairs, and Shane is the owner of the business. It's called, what it's called, Victoria's. It's VV. Anyway, I'm kind of just getting into records myself, just because I know I'm going to drop a fortune in his record store, so I've been putting it off because of that. So just kind of going over some records I came across. And I like to listen to a lot of soundtracks. They're just names that I know from mostly movies, famous names that I've seen in historical things. But there's a plethora of music you can listen to, so I'm going to get back to work because I am working today. So I'll just be walking downstairs. And anyway, I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. If you're in the Clovis or Yosemite area, stop by. One of the best antique malls, I think, here in this side of the West Coast. So, oh yes, he told me to turn it on to his music. I forget how he said to do that. He said something about turning it to FM. And he has his music over here. He said something about turning it back to FM. I know that. He said, turn it back on here to FM. And I think that's it. You said turn it back on to FM and then we're all set?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay.
Just put the lid on and...
What's the name of your business again? Victoria?
Vintage Vinyl and Victrolas.
Vintage Vinyl and Victrolas. That was like the early record players, Victrolas.
The ones that wind up.
Okay, well, and that's what you have in the front display window? That's a Victrola? How do I say it?
Victrola.
Victrola.
That wooden one is a Victrola. It's made by Victor.
Let me see.
With the doors on the front.
This one? Oh.
That's a Victrola. This.
Oh, wow. And it works from 1917. Wow, that's right when World War I started. I'm pretty sure. That's amazing. Did you have to get that fixed?
I fixed it.
Wow. See, you are handy. You are handy. You see? Well, that's amazing. Okay, then I'll get back to work, Shane. Thank you for letting me listen to those.
No problem.
So we'll come across here. I can show you guys some of the things that I've been Google-eyeing and putting off buying, but love. And then I'm on my way back to work. But like these sets, I'm gonna get one for my daughter from the 1980s, the Tupperware sets. Carefully down the stairs. So we have a 2-story. And if you're in the Clovis Antique Mall, there's a Coke machine. Hurry back to the register. So I'll be working for a little longer. Hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and stay in touch.